coup? Now hey everyone, a sudden event has thrown Tu Na into an unimaginable situation. She's lost Henry, the child she loves more than anything in the world. Her desperate screams echo in the silence, and the heart-wrenching pain seems to grip her heart. Could this be the biggest challenge Tu Na has ever faced in her life? And will Alex, who has always loved Henry with all his heart, be able to find him before it's too late? Tense, unexpected, and dramatic moments lie ahead for Tu Na and Alex. The big question is, will they overcome this challenge, or will they have to endure a heartbreaking loss? Stay tuned for the surprises coming in today's episode. Don't forget to like and subscribe so you don't miss out on all the exciting twists and turns. Join Tu Na and Alex on this journey, everyone. In the darkness, Tu Na's ex-mother-in-law quietly appeared. Her gaze was cold, full of hatred and determination. Hidden just outside the alley, she lurked secretly, preparing to take Henry the child Tu Na loved more than anything. But Tu Na had no idea danger was creeping closer, and the darkness was slowly swallowing everything. After a long, tiring day, Tu Na returned to the farm exhausted, but her mind couldn't stop worrying. She gently placed Henry in his crib, hoping for a peaceful night. But peace didn't last long. An unexpected shock hit. When Tu Na came back from the bathroom, Henry was no longer in his crib. Who took Henry? Tu Na's desperate scream shattered the stillness, panic filling her mind. She rushed around the house, disheveled, searching every corner, every nook. But everything remained silent, as if the world had stopped moving. Each beat of her heart sounded like an alarm breaking apart in pure terror. Her heart was shattered. Her eyes filled with tears, and her heart ached uncontrollably. She held Henry's stuffed toy tightly, as if it could soothe the pain. But nothing could ease the hopelessness in Tu Na's heart. Henry, the child she loved more than life itself, was in the hands of the enemy. And the darkness of the past had returned like a nightmare with no way out. Can Tu Na find her son? And does she have enough strength to face the enemy threatening Henry? Or is it already too late? Tune in for the intense, dramatic, and emotional moments in this episode. Tu Na screamed. Her heart felt like it was being torn apart in despair. She rushed to the phone, her hands trembling as she dialed Alex's number. Her only hope left: someone has taken Henry. Alex. In the dark of the night, Alex hurried to the farm, his heart pounding wildly. Each step felt endless, but he couldn't afford to hesitate. When he arrived, he rushed inside. The soft yellow light flickered on, and in that darkness, Tu Na stood, her hair disheveled, her eyes filled with tears. Her sobs echoed like the cries of a soul in distress, filled with pain and fear. Don't worry too much. Alex held Tu Na tightly, his voice warm but unable to hide his own anxiety. We'll find Henry, I promise. But even he couldn't mask the confusion and worry rising in his chest. Alex took out his phone and called Johnny, asking for help in the search. Can you help me find Henry? Things are out of control. Though his mind was filled with questions and confusion, he couldn't let Tu Na see his weakness. He had to be strong to protect her and Henry. As the night grew later, the air in the house became heavier. Alex grabbed a flashlight and began searching the farm, checking every corner. His every step was tense, his eyes scanning everywhere, but there wasn't a single clue. With every passing second, his chest tightened. Back by Tuna's side, he saw her sitting there holding Henry's stuffed toy, tightly, her eyes filled with tears. "I won't give up." Alex knelt down gently, wiping away Tuna's tears. But at that moment, he too felt the unbearable pain in his heart. He loved Henry, like his own son. And now the boy was in danger. Will they find Henry before it's too late? Who is behind this kidnapping? The questions haunted Alex's mind. But he knew that now he had to fight with everything he had to bring Henry back to two. To hold on to hope and protect everything he loved. Stay tuned for the intense emotional twists in this journey to find Henry. Don't forget to like and subscribe to join Tuna and Alex in this tough battle. A long night passed in silence and anxiety. Tuna and Alex couldn't sleep, both filled with fear and tension. Tuna couldn't stop crying, her eyes red and swollen, gripping Henry's stuffed toy as if it was the only thing that could offer her comfort. Alex sat beside her, trying everything to reassure her. But both of them knew nothing could ease the fear in their hearts right now. The next morning, Alex looked at Tuna with concern, sensing her exhaustion. But he knew they couldn't waste any more time. They needed to act immediately. He gently placed his hand on her shoulder and said, "You can't stay here forever. We have to go to the police. And Henry, I promise I will find him and bring him back to us." When they arrived at the police station, Alex turned to Tuna and quietly asked, "Have you noticed anything suspicious lately?" Tuna thought for a long time, her eyes suddenly changing as if something had just clicked in her mind. "It's her," she said, her voice trembling. "She came here and wants to take Henry." Hearing Tuna say that, Alex suddenly realized who was behind everything. He had suspected for a long time, but now all the pieces had fallen into place. Tuna's ex-mother-in-law, who had always been sneaky and secretive, could be the one behind the kidnapping. But Alex didn't say it out loud right away. He knew now wasn't the time to act impulsively. Everything needed to be backed up with evidence, and the police had to officially verify everything. Alex took Tuna's hand, his eyes full of determination, but still betraying his concern. "We can't do this alone," he said. "The police will help us find the truth, but we have to be patient and not let anyone act rashly." Tuna nodded, though her heart was still filled with doubt and fear. But she understood, to find Henry they needed the help and protection of those who could assist them. Will Tuna and Alex be able to find the important evidence in time? Is Tuna's ex-mother-in-law really behind it all? What will happen when the secrets start to unfold? Don't miss the thrilling and dramatic events in the next episode, where the truth will slowly come to light. Follow Tuna and Alex on their challenging journey, and don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel so you don't miss any moments in the fight to bring Henry back. The night before had been too intense. After a long sleepless night, Tuna still couldn't calm down. Alex looked at her with eyes full of concern, knowing she needed some rest, even though he couldn't shake his own worries about Henry. He decided to take her back to his house, a place he hoped would give her a sense of safety and peace. When they entered Alex's cozy home, Tuna looked around. Everything still seemed calm, but in her heart, everything had been shattered. Losing Henry, the pain of not being able to protect him, it all felt like an endless nightmare she couldn't escape. Mrs. Min, Alex's mother, was sitting in the living room. As soon as she saw them walk in, she immediately sensed that something was wrong. Tuna looked worn out. Her eyes were red, her hair was messy, and her shoulders seemed burdened by an indescribable pain. Mrs. Min quickly stood up, walked over, and looked at Tuna with eyes full of worry. "Are you okay, sweetie?" Mrs. Min asked gently, her hand lightly resting on Tuna's, feeling the weakness and exhaustion in every movement. Tuna only lowered her head, unable to say anything more. In that moment, Mrs. Min could see that Tuna had been through far too much pain and worry during that long night. "I'm fine, Mrs. Min too." Na tried to smile faintly, but that smile couldn't hide the despair in her eyes. Looking at her daughter-in-law, Mrs. Min's heart ached. She hurried to the kitchen, deciding to make some herbal tea to help Tuna regain her strength, hoping that it might ease her worries. Although she wasn't a doctor, she knew that proper nourishment and rest were exactly what Tuna needed right now. While Mrs. Min prepared the tea, Alex sat next to Tuna, watching her closely. She was still holding Henry's stuffed toy tightly, as if it was the only thing left of him. Alex's gaze seemed to want to say something, but he knew that at this moment no words could comfort her. After a while, Mrs. Min came out with a hot cup of tea, gently placing it in Tuna's hands. "Drink this, it'll help you feel better and think more clearly," she said, her voice warm but filled with concern. Mrs. Min looked at Tuna, her heart swelling with sympathy. She knew that even though the tea might help her recover physically, her soul would take much longer to heal. Tuna took the cup, looking at Mrs. Min with tears in her eyes. "Thank you, but I'm so worried about Henry." Mrs. Min sat down next to Tu, Na gently patting her hand and saying, "I understand, sweetie. Don't worry too much. Henry will be safe. We'll do whatever it takes to find him." After a while, in the stillness of the house, Tuna began to feel a little warmth from Mrs. Min's concern. Even just a little bit of comfort was enough to ease her heart. She knew that Alex and Mrs. Min would never give up, and with their help, she wouldn't have to face this battle alone. Will Tuna's worries ever end? Will Henry return safely? All that remains is a relentless struggle where love and hope will guide them, even though there are still many challenges ahead.
Chào các bạn, có lẽ chẳng ai ngờ được một cuộc gọi trong đêm đã làm trái tim Tú Na chao đảo. Người báo tin nói rằng Tú Na phải nhập viện khẩn cấp, và chỉ vài phút sau Alex đã xuất hiện, gương mặt lạnh tanh.